Ainge PTSD over here. Now he's over here gonna have Dolo PTSD.
Going to bring the strengths out of Son is the best thing for this team. When you spend $27 million on the player, you're building around him. He's got to be the central focus on whatever you do. And so they just got to do. Sometimes it feels like the referees in MLS kind of have an ego and they don't want to be checked. And they kind of like, hey, I saw what I saw. I don't need VAR. I know,
New people that are coming in, referee.
Like that, right? And imagine if you had someone like that feeding to Son Heung-min, how much of a difference it would make.
많은 사람들이 손흥민이 오기 전까지의 LAFC를 잘 모르고 있지만 그의 등장과 함께 대환호가 터졌던 가장 큰 이유 중 하나는 올 시즌 그들은 창단 후 가장 힘든 시기를 보내고 있었기 때문입니다. 지난 시즌 서부 1위의 성적은 5위로 추락했고 무엇보다 재미없는 경기가 팬들의 강한 질타를 받았습니다. PL 버전으로 말하자면 23년 우승팀 맨시티가 1년 만에 1위와 승점 13점 차이가 나고 무려 9패나 당했던 결과와 조금은 유사합니다. 만년 하위 팀들에 비해 5위의 성적에도 강한 비판을 듣는 이유이고 특히 LAFC는 창단 초기부터 엄청난 공격 축구와 오락성으로 갤럭시를 누르고 단숨에 LA의 주인이 되어버린 클럽이기에 재미없는 경기에 더욱 강한 목소리가 있었습니다. 정확히 그 순간에 손흥민 영입이란 메가 이벤트가 펼쳐졌고 많은 사람들은 LAFC의 현실을 잊고 꽃밭을 즐겼지만 샌디에이고전 이후 본격적으로 원래의 문제점들에 대한 이야기가 나타났습니다. LAFC의 우승, 나아가 다음 시즌 손흥민의 득점왕, 모든 것이 연결되어 있고 해결책은 명료해 보입니다. 5년 내내 이상한 축구를 펼친 팀이라면 기대감도 없지만 그들은 불과 1년 전에 재밌는 축구로 1위를 했던 클럽이기에 많은 사람들은 단기간 변화를 외치고 있습니다. MLS는 분명 PL보다 하위 리그이지만 적어도 LAFC의 경기는 영국과 다른 의미에서 박진감 넘치는 오락 축구를 했고 현재 여러분이 보신 경기가 그들의 원래 모습이었다면 절대 MLS 전체 관중 동원 1위 팀이 될 수 없었을 것입니다. 참고로 토트넘 시절보다 더욱 강력하게 손흥민을 중심으로 팀을 개편하고 그가 득점왕이 되어야 한다는 이야기가 나오는 이유는 그게 팀 승리에 절대적이기 때문이고 DP 선수란 제도가 있는 MLS에서는 더욱 에이스의 활용이 중요합니다. 또한 다음 감독의 이름이나 추가 DP 선수의 이름에 상당한 기대감이 보이는 이유는 LAFC는 손흥민을 영입한 클럽이기 때문입니다. 지난 여름 뜨거웠던 시장에서 그들이 손흥민의 마음을 사로잡은 이유는 또렷이 있을 것이고 손흥민 효과를 피부로 체감한 클럽 입장에선 어쩌면 팬들보다 더욱 절실하게 팀 승리와 오락성을 위해 다음 DP 선수의 이름에 총력을 다할 것입니다. 이대로 영영 답답한 축구를 펼친다면 손흥민 영입 효과의 지속성에 타격을 받을 것이기 때문입니다. 또한 PL 득점왕을 설득한 클럽은 전세계 누구라도 데려올 가능성이 있고 손흥민이란 이름의 밸류를 생각하면 감독 후보로 누가 등장해도 그리 비논리적이진 않습니다. 토트넘 시절 유명인의 이름이 링크되면 말도 안 된다는 반응이 많았지만 토트넘 손흥민을 10년 세월에서 유일하게 영입한 클럽 입장에선 더욱 전세계 모든 이름을 타겟팅할 명분과 실적이 충분합니다. 다음 영상은 그동안 LAFC를 몰랐던 분들에게 좋은 예습 영상이자 심판 판정이란 MLS의 현실, 나아가 손흥민의 활용이 왜 LAFC 대부분 팬들에게 최대치 희망이자 대박력의 서막인지가 담겨 있습니다. 과거엔 주로 한국 팬들이 손흥민의 슈팅과 활약에 집중했다면 지금은 오히려 미국에서 더 큰 목소리로 손흥민 활용에 집착하기 시작했습니다.
So Sonny doesn't have to come all the way to the middle to try to be the facilitator, and hopefully we'll have someone that can facilitate to him.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, I know Son isn't the traditional 9,
Okay.
but really just, I agree with you. I don't, but sometimes this is the thing, like with Tottenham last year, obviously being a Sonny fan, a lot of us that now are kind of came over to LAF, that was kind of our team last year before he was here. And I mean, really that same squad, right? We had Ange, in the same way, I guess, with Dolo Ball, it was kind of Ange Ball. It just seemed like in the beginning it worked out perfectly, and then the whole league kind of figured it out. We could only play that one style. We were giving up goals all the time. Son was, utilized as a touchline winger. But at the end of the day, like this season now, with new manager, we have most of the same players, maybe a couple new signings, but things look better, I know Tottenham had a pretty tough loss this last weekend, but things look better with a new manager. So I know just being a fan of this podcast and just you being so nice at just kind of really integrating all of us new fans. And I know you guys talk about Dolo out a lot. And I wonder if that's kind of going to be the big change we need versus all these.
Just to every guest that I've had that has now just came over is like, I almost apologize for what you guys are seeing with the Dolo ball. You know what I mean? And I hear you say Ainge ball, and you know it's interesting because that's a weird topic with people who were Spur fans that know what Son had went through with him. LAFC had all the chances in the world to get it done, and things in the midfield from Son having to go back to be the facilitator. Once Moran gets in there, at least we might have a facilitator where Son can be where he needs to be to have someone facilitate to him and take advantage of that.
Andrews Dreyer for San Diego FC, you could just see the playmaker, the facilitator, the shot creator that he is. LAFC needs something like that, right? And imagine if you had someone like that feeding to Son Heung-min, how much of a difference it would make. So it just feels like LAFC are really just a broken team at the moment, and they're just band-aided together. I don't know if Tim agrees with that, but you know, Andrew Stryer, when you saw him play, man, just the difference, the quality that he is, and you just wish that LAFC had another player like that on their team. No, I agree, but you know, Sonny is just a very unselfish player. I don't think he cares. I said this in our show too, that he could care less if he has even one shot attempt as long as they win. That's all he wants to do. He just wants to win the game, and it's disappointing to see the service around him collapse so badly in the second half. Should be a lot better, and that's why I kind of said that I think it's you know, a team that's kind of held together by a band-aid, like it's a band-aid job. I'd be very surprised if they really win anything this year just because there's so many holes. The back line is just not good enough to win a championship. The midfield doesn't create enough chances. The coaching is bad. Tim, I don't know what you think about Dolo in the 4 games you've seen, but I think his tactics are pretty bad. A lot of people are Dolo out.
Chemistry just looked a lot better. The difference between Ordaz and Martinez, I feel like Ordaz kind of, when he gets the ball, he looks at Son. He's like, I'm trying to get the ball to Sonny. I want to set up someone. Martinez, at least he gives us that like option where if Sonny passes the ball.
But the refereeing has been really disappointing. It feels like it kills the tempo. We'll talk a little bit about the refereeing here in MLS. And then I sort of want to get Tim's point of view because, again, he's watching from, you know, the Premier League standpoint of it. The refereeing here on MLS has never really been that good, in my opinion, Will. What's your opinion on that? Because for the new people that are coming in, the new eyeballs that are saying, hey, this is how MLS is refereed, it really is. It's always questionable.
No, the refereeing is definitely subpar in MLS. It's kind of similar to the defense, right? A lot of teams have really poor defending. Refereeing has always been suspect in MLS. A lot of missed calls, maybe, you know, sometimes it feels like the referees in MLS kind of have an ego and they don't really want to be checked, and they kind of like, hey, I saw what I saw. I don't need VAR. I know, you know, what is right. So there was a couple, you know, things today and, you know, that I've seen recently. There's just really bad calls, really bad calls, especially like in Leagues Cup too. Which is a lot of MLS referees, you know, some of these missed calls. I think Sonny got fouled pretty hard inside the box at one point, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a long day. We did 2 long streams today, but I'm pretty sure there was a couple. And he was, at the end of the game, he was absolutely grilling the ref. Did you see him in the grill? I think Bouanga was with him too. They were just laying into the referee at the end of the match. But you love to see him, though.
No, for sure. Tim, what do you think about that, man? I mean, what is your impression of the ref so far in MLS, the 4 games that you've watched?
Yeah, I think everything you guys said. I saw the Vancouver, was the Mueller penalty kick that he should have never had, to be honest.
That was a bad one.
I think I saw that one, and I kind of realized like, hey, wow, stoppage time at the end, or sometimes I feel like they just like really just kill the vibe of a transition or attack. Sometimes the fouls are a little soft, they call it, and then I feel like something big happens, they're like, I'm good. But yeah, I think the welcome to MLS refereeing moment was when I saw the replay for the Whitecaps or whatever, when Mueller had that penalty. Yeah,
I think that LAFC has pieces around that's going to really help Son be the superstar that he's going to be next year. I have no in my opinion, no doubt that Son is going to be in the running for the Golden Boot. I believe this. I think he's going to be he's already the top kit seller of here in the United States. He is going to be a Golden Boot chaser for sure. This year, I think for the remainder of the games, we need him to be a little selfish, and it's probably so out of his his character that he doesn't even think about that, because as Will said, he doesn't give a crap if he gets a goal. I think he gives a crap about getting a goal because I heard him say it in an interview, but more importantly, he wants to win. He wants the 3 points over the goal. He wants the 3 points over the assist. And so with that is going to have to come a little bit of selfishness, Tim. And it's going to be out of his character, but he needs it.
No, yeah, I agree. I think in Tottenham too, all of last season, we wanted that. I think him being the captain of the club kind of suppressed some of that kind of selfishness. But on this team, I mean, today, if you told me that Son was going to have 4 shots and 2 on target, I would have put the house on it that he was scoring 1. I think he just got unlucky with that one off the post. But yeah, I think if the service is a little better, I think he can take some more shots. There were definitely times where the Ordaz one, I think I tweeted about that as soon as it happened. Ordaz was there, he could have just passed the Son right there. He didn't, and then Son was like visibly frustrated. He shows his emotions every single time he's been doing that on the Korea team, on Tottenham. He shows his frustration out loud. So I feel like if he can get a couple more of those opportunities, he'll take some shots. But I do also have another thought, is I just feel like Ange Ball last year, obviously we won Europa, that's huge, but in the league we were conceding so many goals, and it was just like the 2 goals we gave up today, where out of nowhere it's a long ball pass, and all of a sudden it's not even 3, 4, 5 beautiful link-up plays. It's one, and then the defense kind of just messes up and they score pretty easily. I feel like sometimes as an attacker, and maybe for Son in those instances, he doesn't want to take on those one-on-one opportunities if he has it, or those one-on-two, because if he loses the ball and now all of our guys are forward and then we're transitioning back, and like if he doesn't feel like, hey, maybe the defense is a little forward, like when sometimes, and he's probably seen it enough, it's you lose the ball up front because one of the attackers try to make something happen, and then 2 seconds it's the other way and they're scoring. So I feel like if we can get a little more fluidity in the middle and in the back line, kind of like the spine of a human body, if we could just get that connection, then everything starts to flow a little better. Son could play with a little less peace of mind. I'm not saying that's the reason, it's just a thought, and I know that was echoed also in Tottenham too, where sometimes on the attack you're a little more hesitant because you're afraid of the counter. So
I mean, Will, they're saying Ainge PTSD over here. Now he's over here going to have Dolo PTSD. And to Tim's point, I mean, maybe that's the truth. Maybe he's not used to that, and he's like, oh, hell, I'm back in that same type of position.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was going to ask Tim this too, because this has been kind of like a hotly debated topic. A lot of people say that they don't want Ange, like they don't want to see him and Sonny back together. What would you think about like Jose Mourinho now that he's been sacked with Fenerbahce? Like, now obviously he plays a more defensive system than some of the other coaches that Sonny's had. But what would you think about him reuniting with Sonny? Would that be something that would be good to see? Would the South Korean fans be cool with it?
It's one of those things where, just like from a Son perspective, right? Son's a god for a lot of Korean people. I'm Korean American, and he's kind of the gateway to soccer for me, the same way. And growing up in LA, I had Kobe Bryant for basketball, Clayton Kershaw for baseball. Son's our guy for most of us for soccer. But yeah, just to get to that question, I mean, Mourinho and Son have a good relationship. I genuinely believe if Tottenham never sacked him before the final, Son would have 2 trophies now. Yeah, I personally think that'd be cool. I know they have a good relationship. I know even before this LAFC move, he was linked there. I know it's all talk a lot of the time, so I don't know how official things are, but he does have a good relationship with him. And so I feel like as for the team though, it's he's a winner, and he's a proven winner. It might be a little boring style ball, but sometimes if you get results, you get results. But I just feel like it comes down to the team and the players you kind of give him. I feel like Will said, I agree. I feel like Son coming in kind of created maybe a distraction now from what I'm seeing for this LAFC team and the real problems that were coming on. You know, it kind of gave us 3 weeks of like, hey, Son's here. It's all positive. Things are good. We took five points out of 9 possible. Whatever, we'll live with it. I still think it should have been a lot more. But I felt like today, for the first time, I was looking under the LAFC, just the 2-1 defeat, like their post, and there's a lot of negativity for the first time that I've seen. So I feel like that band-aid from Son coming up here is like off, and it's like, okay, this is reality.
Yeah, I remember that Jose Mourinho used to play some very exciting ball, especially when he was at Chelsea, like you were saying, the Eden Hazard days, or Diego Costa and Oscar. Like, they had some good times, but it seems like towards the back end of his career, you started to shift more to like 5 out of the back, more defensive system. I think that's what he predominantly played at Tottenham specifically. What I like to see him, of course, he's a great quote. He's entertaining. You know, I would just love it for the plot. I don't know if he's going to win, but we'll see. Now, it just feels like the stars are aligning. You said he wanted to be in MLS at some point. He's 62 years old. How many more years is he going to coach? He could go to a bigger club in MLS. He gets to coach a former player that he wanted to. Even if the rumors weren't 100% that he was going to go to Fenerbahce, they were still links. Like, there was still that connection. So instead of Son coming to him, he can go to Son at LAFC. You know, there's part of me that wants to see it because of the storylines, the quotes. But then a part of me wants to see them bring in a coach who's going to be implement an exciting, high attacking offense, whatever you want to call it. So I'm on the fence. I'm like 50-50. I would be cool either way. I would like to see Son return back to being a left winger because I think that's where he's the most creative. That's where he's at his best. Luanga, I think they need to ship him out if they have to. Get someone else in there. But whoever's going to bring the strengths out of Son is the best thing for this team. And if that's Jose, got a good relationship, and that's what they got to do. But when you spend $27 million on a player, you're building around him. He's got to be the central focus on whatever you do. And so they just got to do what's ever going to make him succeed and put him in the best position going forward.